find some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Bortles throwing on second down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play.
And he is going to go down in the end zone. Down goes Bortles. It's a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. And an alley to run. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Rolling to his right. Throwing right, and that's complete. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead. As the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. They'll look to throw here. Dancing to his left. Now he'll throw deep left side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
The way he's been slinging in the first half, you expect everything he throws to go for a touchdown, but I guess he's going to have to wait to try and pick up that third, isn't he?
Yeah, I thought he had him for a second, but you're right, not to be. On play action, they'll throw. Sliding out of the pocket. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Back to throw here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Logan Ryan. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
A final shot before half for Bortles. So, all right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. 76 yards. And the Colts just continue to pour it on. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Down on the field, we've got an injured Colt after that last play. We'll check on his status when we get back. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now they'll run it on the toss. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They'll set up to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left, and he slides to avoid the hit. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Here's Darkwan. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets the first down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. Here comes the D swarming to the line. They run. This is Lewis. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Again, it's Lewis. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. They converted once earlier on this opening drive, but now comes a big test. 4th and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
And, oh, he is really laid out that time. Knocked flat on his back.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
They'll start the drive with a give to Foreman. Fights out the defender, and he'll be taken down at the 18. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And down he'll go at the 25. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. A carry for Foreman. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. The power move there couldn't buy him much space. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll try to run for it with Yeldon. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
Thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah,
and he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Carl Joseph. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like...
And nothing but daylight ahead. And all the way down to the 37. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 44 yards on the ground.
Here we go.
They'll run with Foreman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.